Hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about something super important for your money. Think of it like this. Do you want it to take a slow, steady walk or hop on a rocket ship? That's really the difference between simple and compound growth. And trust me, getting this can totally change your financial future.
So just think about this for a second. What if your money could earn money on its own earnings? I mean, it sounds a little like magic, right? The idea that your money isn't just making a little bit extra, but that the extra it makes starts making money too. This one idea right here is what separates slow growth from a financial snowball that just gets bigger and bigger. Okay, so before we jump into those two paths, we've got to make sure we're all speaking the same language. You know, like any game, finance has its own rulebook. So let's just quickly get on the same page with the absolute basics. It'll be quick, I promise.
All right, here are the big four. You've got the principal, that's just your starting cash. Then there's the rate, which is basically how fast it grows each year. Time, of course, is how long you let it do its thing. And finally, the amount is the grand total at the end. Just think P, R, T, and A. Simple enough, right?
Okay, let's check out our first option. This is path number 1, and it's super straightforward. Seriously, think of it like a nice, steady, predictable walk in the park. We're talking about simple interest. So here's the key thing to remember about this one. With simple interest, the math is always based on that original chunk of money you started with, your principal. That's it. It doesn't matter if you've already earned a bunch of interest, they only look back at that starting number. It's a totally fixed deal.
Okay, let's make this real with an example. Let's say you borrow 2,000 rupees. Boom, that's our principal, our starting point. And now for the terms of the deal. The rate is going to be 10% a year, and we're looking at a time period of 3 years. So far, so simple, right? And there you have it. The total interest is 600 rupees. So how'd we get that? Well, you just take the principal, 2,000, multiply it by the rate, 10%, and then by the time, 3 years. That works out to 200 rupee of interest each year. For 3 years, that's 600. And notice, it's the exact same 200 rupees year in and year out. Here's a really easy way to remember this one. SI is for simple interest, yeah, but you can also think of it as straight and simple. The payment never changes. It's just a flat, totally predictable line. All right, time to check out path number 2. Now this one, it might start out a little slow, but it's got a secret weapon. This, my friends, is the path of compound interest. And this is the absolute game changer. The magic phrase is interest on interest. See, the money you earn gets added right back into the pot. So the next time interest gets calculated, it's on a new, bigger pile of money. It's like your army of cash is growing, and the new recruits start fighting for you immediately. Let's see how this plays out. We'll run another example. This time, we're starting with a principal of 5,000 rupees, and the rate is, again, 10%. Okay, so in year 1, it looks exactly like simple interest. 10% of 5,000 is 500 rupees, so at the end of the first year, you've got 5,500 rupees. Nothing too exciting yet. But this is where everything changes. This is where the two paths split. Because in year 2, we're not looking at that original 5,000 anymore. Nope, we're looking at the new total, 5,500. This is the moment the compounding engine roars to life. And check this out. The interest you earn in year 2 isn't 500 rupees anymore. It's 550. And why is that? It's because you earned 10% on that interest from the first year. So your new total is 6,050. You're seeing the snowball effect, just getting started. So if simple interest is straight and simple, then compound interest is clever and increasing. It literally gets smarter and more powerful every single time because it's building on its own success. So there we have it. Our two paths. One is steady and predictable. The other starts slow but speeds up. So what happens when we put them side by side? You know, in a head-to-head race? All right, here are the rules for the showdown. We're going to keep it fair. The starting line is exactly the same for both, a principal of 5,000 rupees. The race conditions are the same, a 10% rate, and the finish line is just 2 years away. So, who's going to win? And the results are in. After just 2 years, compound interest is already pulling ahead. Simple interest gets you to 6,000, but compound interest gets you to 6,050. Now I know what you're thinking. An extra 50? Who cares? But here's the thing. That's the whole point. Over 10, 20, or even 40 years, that tiny gap doesn't just get bigger, it gets exponentially, massively wider. Okay, so look, this isn't just some boring math problem. This exact race is happening with your money, right now, whether you realize it or not. So let's talk about why this actually matters in the real world.
I mean, this isn't just theory. This is the engine that makes your savings accounts and your investments grow. But, and this is a big but, it's also the force that can work against you. It's what makes debt on things like car loans and home loans grow. It's this invisible math that decides if your money is growing or shrinking. It is absolutely everywhere.
So here's the bottom line. Compound interest is an incredibly powerful tool. When you're saving or investing, it's your absolute best friend, working 24/7 to build your wealth. But when you're borrowing money, it can be a powerful enemy working against you. Just getting that difference, that's the first huge step toward really being smart with your money. And that really leaves us with one final thought. You've seen the two paths. You know the rules of the game now. You get the incredible power of interest on interest. The choice of which path you want your money on and which one you want to avoid, well, that's completely up to you. So the real question is, how are you going to run your race?